Hello, greetings to you and welcome to the data. Today we are going to look at elasticity of demand and microeconomics. Okay, so we have already looked at demand, equilibrium, and the rest. Do you get it? So we are going to look at elasticity of the demand that we talked about. So when we say elasticity of demand, what do we mean? Okay, so it's very simple. You see that initially when we were talking about how demand goes like, uh, we were always saying demand is like this, demand is like that. You draw how any way you want the demand to be. So you see how steep or slope the thing is. Yes, this one there are different kinds of what slopes, and that is what how elastic the thing is. You get it? So demand can be very steep like this. It can be very flat like this, and also normal like this. Is that okay? Yeah. So that is what we are going to talk about here. So we are saying anytime there is an increase in price or there is a reduction in the income of a consumer, what is going to happen? There is going to be a fall of what? A fall in demand. You get it? Let's say a market, even the law of demand says that anytime there is increase in price, there is what? A decrease in quantity demanded. So if you increase the price, quantity demanded falls. That is basically what we mean. If the income of a consumer falls, or income of a buyer, if it is false, then it means that person is not going to get any money to purchase an item. So in this case, what happens? The demand falls, right? Now we are saying the demand falls, demand falls, demand falls. Then what is the percentage or how much does it fall? Do you get it? That is the elasticity. So if you are saying, okay, if the price is increased by 10%, then the demand will fall by, let's say, 5%. Yes, that is what the elasticity. So if the income is decreased by this, and if the price is also increased by, let's say, 20%, demand will also, let's say, fall by, let's say, 8%. Okay. Then if the price of other related commodities also increased by, let's say, 10, uh, if the price of your commodity is, or if it's reduced by 30%, it means the demand of its related commodity will also reduce by, should I say, 12%. Okay. So if you are sure or if you are able to state the percentage, that will give us what? The elasticity. Do you get it? Whether the thing is elastic or inelastic or unitary or whatever. Do you get it? So this is basically the elasticity. If it is falling, what is the percentage of it? So we have a calculation on this. I'll make a full video on that. So I'll teach you how to solve for what? Elasticity. But today we are going to look at only the theory aspects. Do you get it? Okay. So it's either in percentage or sometimes you get what decimals. But then let's first look at the types of elasticity. We have three types that we are going to look at today. So we'll be talking about elastic, inelastic, and unitary. Okay. So those are the things that we are going to talk about today. So um, no, that one, the elastic and inelastic and the unitary, that one comes under price elasticity of demand. But then we have the three types we are going to talk about the price elasticity of demand, the income, and the price of other related commodities, as I stated here. So the elasticity, let's say, if the fall in demand or if the changes in demand is as a result of the price, then we can say, so if the change in price is the one affecting the change in quantity demanded, then we can say it is what? Price elasticity of demand, right? We can say it is price elasticity of demand because it is the price that is telling us the percentage of the demand that is what falling. Do you get it? Then let's say if the change in the income is the one affecting what? The quantity demanded. then we can say that one is what? Income elasticity of demand. Income elasticity of demand. Okay, so let's say your income, you are earning 1,000 cedis a month, and let's say because of the economy and production factors and all that, your income has reduced to 800 cedis. Do you think the commodities or the items that you used to buy, you'll be able to buy them now? No, your demand will fall. So if demand falls as a result of your income that has reduced or whatever, it means that one becomes what? An income elasticity of what? Demand. Then let's say the price of the commodity is telling us how the change, how it's been affected by the change in demand. Then it means, let's say, for example, the price of a mobile phone is, let's say, 5,000 Ghana cedis. Then now the price has increased to 6,000 cedis, and the demand for that particular phone has reduced. In that case, we say that is what price with elasticity of demand. Then what again? The last one, let's say you have what? Pepsodent, okay, and you have closer. You have Pepsodent and you have closer. So once the price of this Pepsodent goes up, once the price of this Pepsodent goes up, consumers are not going to buy Pepsodent again, right? Because they all serve the same purpose. So once this Pepsodent goes up, consumers will then buy more. So when the price goes up, here the quantity will go up, right? Because this price is now bigger than this price. So you see that here you'll be having quantity. So the quantity will go up here, and that is so cross elasticity, right? So either the two arrows are going up, or one is going up, one is going down. That is negative. This is what complementary, and this is what substitutes. So when you talk of substitutes, products like close-up and Pepsodent, you see they are substitutes. Either you use this or use that, they all say the same purpose. So when the price of one goes up, the quantity of the other will go up. So they have positive relationship like this. But with complementary commodities, let's say car and fuel. So when the price of cars go up, you see car will be expensive, so people will not be buying cars. And so in this case, they are going to reduce their demand for cars. And when they reduce their demand for cars, what will happen? People are not going to buy fuel. So when the price of cars go up, the price or the demand for fuel will reduce. Do you get it? And so one is going up, one is coming down. And this is what complementary what? And so complementary has negative relationship and substitute has what? Positive relationship. As simple as that. And so when it happens like this, we say that one is what? You say this one is also cross, this one is also cross. And so we say that one is what? So change in related commodities, related items over affecting the change in demand. We say that one is what? Cross elasticity of demand. Cross elasticity of demand. Okay, as simple as that. So these are the three things that we are going to look at. Okay, the price elasticity, income elasticity, and cross what? Elasticity. All right, so let's start with the price elasticity of demand. How to price a commodity, and when pricing the commodity, the kind of effect it has on demand. That is what we are going to look at here. Okay, so the price elasticity of demand measures the relative or degree of responsiveness of demand to changes in what? Price. Okay. So we are going to do something here. When I start teaching how to do the calculation, you see that anytime your demand is greater than one, it means that particular item is what? Elastic. That is elastic. Then if your demand here is less than one, it means it is inelastic. If it is negative, it means that particular thing is not elastic. It is inelastic. Okay. Then if it is unitary, then it means your coefficient is equal to 1, right? Or the price elasticity is equal to one. Okay, so let's look at elastic. Under what circumstance do we say this item is elastic, inelastic, and unitary? And if the commodity is elastic, you as a buyer, what do you do? You as a consumer, what do you do? If this item is inelastic, you as a supplier, what do you do? You as a buyer, what do you do? Okay, so let's compare that one with the total what revenue. Okay, it's very simple. It will be done in no time. Okay, so we are starting the price elasticity of demand and what total revenue. Okay, now the price elasticity of demand and total revenue. One, if a commodity is elastic, right, it means that particular commodity has what? So many substitutes. Do you get it? Because if you have close up, if you have Pepsodent, if you have Colgate, if you have Angola, if you have other kind of toothpaste, sorry, I was about to say Pepsodent, other kind of what? Toothpaste. So now you see we have what? Four. Now these four, they are all what substitute commodities, right? So if you don't use this, you can use it because they all serve the same purpose, right? So we are saying it is elastic because if you try to increase your price, if you are selling this and I'm selling that, and someone is selling this and someone is selling, if you increase your price, they will all switch. So many consumers will switch and come and buy my own because it's at the end it all serves the same purpose. I hope you get it. For example, you have what Baltic and what Vena. You have Baltic and Vena. Baltic and Vena, they are all mineral water. So if you increase your pricing, it means Vena, all other things being equal, we don't care the minerals in it or anything. They are all mineral water. They all serve the same purpose. So if you increase your price, it means people are not going to buy yours. So many people will switch and come and buy mine. Do you get it? So once there are availability of substitutes, people will switch and come and buy money. And so that is when we say if you have a substitute commodity, if a commodity is elastic, it means it has what? Substitutes. 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 Now don't forget we are comparing it to total revenue. So if it has what substitute, then in case if you want to increase your revenue, what do you do? Because it has with substitute. If you increase your price, they will all stop buying yours and come and buy it. You will not be able to maximize your revenue because people don't buy. So all the elastic products, what do? You reduce the price very small. If you reduce it very small, you see that a lot of people will stop buying these products and buy yours. Is that okay? As simple as that. So the curve for elastic is very flat. Do you get it? Very flat like this. Do you get it? So you will see the reason why we are saying you are supposed to reduce the price. You have a curve like this. You have your price, you have what? Your quantity. Now we are saying it is very flat like this. Okay? Your demand is very flat like this. Because if you have four, let's say, let's say you have this for people are buying this. So $4, and now people were buying 10 of them, and you have 20 here, you have 30, you have 40, and you have 50. Okay, let me extend. Okay, you have 60, you have what? 70. Okay, so there's the market price. Okay, let's say there's the market price. Almost all of them are selling it at what? 4 Ghana cedis. 10 quantity at what? 4 Ghana cedis. Almost all of them. Now you want to maximize revenue. What do? We are saying if the product is elastic, if the product has what? Substitutes, then it means there are other choices. So what you do is you try to reduce your own the price very small. Don't reduce it very large, that you wouldn't be able to maximize profit. So what you do is you reduce it very small. So from here, if here is 4, you reduce it to 3, right? So if you reduce it to 3, you see that you come here to 50. Okay, so you see that from you just reduce it by what? Let's say $1, but then the quantity has increased from 10 to what? 50, right? So because the curve for elastic is very flat, this is what is going to happen, right? And so at this point, the whole of this part is going to be your what? Your total revenue. Your total revenue. So if you want to calculate the total revenue for the first one, it is your 4 times the 10. You are selling it at $4. Then people were demanding only 10, so you are what? 40, right? Okay. Now you said you are going to reduce the price very small, so to 3. Then you multiply it by your new quantity, which is 50. You are getting what? 150. So in this case, you see you have maximized or you have increased what profit. As simple as that. So when we say when a commodity is price elastic, this is what we mean. And most of them are what substitute what commodities, right? So we are done with the elastic. Okay, let's look at the inelastic. When a commodity is priced inelastic. So inelastic. Most of the time we say when there is what a monopoly or when there is a single supplier or the product has few substitutes. Okay, so let's say one commodity, you have one commodity. Okay, let's say one particular commodity. So this curve is very steep. This curve is very steep like this. You see, this one is very flat and this is very steep. So if you have here, oh, it's very high. Let me bring it this way. If you have here to be 2, to be 1, you have 3, you have 1, you have 2, you have 3, you have 4, you have 5, you have 6. Okay. Then you have here to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Let's see what is going to happen. There's the market price. Okay. Yes. And because you are the only supplier or that particular product is one. For example, electricity company of Ghana, ECG, because they are the only people supplying us with what? Electricity. You see that they can increase the price, but you cannot stop using what? Electricity. Do you get it? Because that product, we call it what? Necessity. We call it necessity. Uh, necessity. Okay. Necessity. So, irrespective of whatever you do, you are going to need that particular product. And so you cannot do without that particular product. So even if when they increase the price, all that you can do is to be talking plenty, but then you cannot stop using that product. You get it? For example, if they increase what? Transport fares. Transport fares. Although the cars are plenty, but can you stop boarding cars? Can you stop taking cars or moving from one location to another? You will still take it, but then you complain, and your complaint will not take you anywhere. It will not reduce the price. Is that okay? And let's say a particular product, you can also talk about. There are so many products, single products that one maybe you can talk about salt because that is also a necessity, right? Clothing, you grow, so you stop wearing the previous style, you buy new ones and all that. So what you are going to do is if you want to maximize revenue, this is 3 and this is what 40. Now what we say is that if you increase the price, it is only few people that are going to stop using that particular product. Do you get it? It is only few people. So If you even increase the price from 3 to, let's say, should we move to 6 or 5? Let's say 5. Okay. Okay, 5. Yeah. So you see, there is it. The distance between the price is very huge, but then the distance between the quantity is very small. So it means consumers uh, are still using the products. The number of consumers who have stopped using the products, they are only what 10, right? Or they sorry, not the consumers, but then the quantity has reduced by just what 10, but the price has increased by what $2, right? So calculate the revenue here. You see that initially you were having what 3 and what 4, 40. So 3 times 40, you have what 120. Now it is 5. So 5 times 30. So 5 times 30, you have what? 150, right? So you have what? Maximize what? Revenue. Is that okay? So what we are saying is that for inelastic, they are most what? Monopoly, or when the market is monopoly or that particular item is a necessity, right? So whether there is an increase in price or a small increase in price or a huge increase in price, the change in the quantity will be very small. Just compare this please. There was a small decrease in price. The change in price was very small. But when you check the change in quantity, it was very what? Huge. Right? So it means when we are talking about elastic, small change in price affect a greater change in quantity demanded, right? Small change in price affect greater change in quantity demanded. But then when you come to inelastic, greater change in price results in small change in what quantity demanded. Okay, but then when you talk about the unitary, that one is fairly right. It's fairly. It's very fair. It's fair. So you have your curve like this. I don't know whether I get the perfection, but then it's very gentle as you know the supply curve and the demand curve too. Okay, so if you sell at this point, if you increase price, the change is going to be the same. So you see that the change here will result as the same change here. Okay, so that is what we tell by what fairly. So if here is let's say three, or should I use four, and here is 50. When you increase to this place, should I say I wouldn't get there. This one will give you with 100, right? Yeah, no, 200. And so if I bring here 5 and 5, then it means here has to be 20, right? Here has to be 20. So yeah, so that no 40 rather. Okay, so 4, they were demanding what 50. And when you increase the price to 50, still what 40. So even if you increase or decrease price, you are still going to get what the same amount. Okay, so that that is that for the price elasticity, the price elasticity of demand. Okay, then let's look at the next one, which is income. So have it in mind that if the item is elastic and you want to maximize revenue, you reduce it. If it is elastic and you want to maximize revenue, you reduce it. Because if you increase it, those that will switch to other substitutes are many. So you are going to reduce what revenue. Okay. Then if it is inelastic and you want to maximize revenue, you increase the price, right? But if you reduce inelastic item, it means you are going to reduce what your revenue. Okay. Then let's move on to the next one, which is income. 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 You know, income is mostly represented by Y when it comes to economics. Income is mostly represented by Y. Then I said change in income, right? And a proportionate change in what? Demand, quantity demanded. Yes, it's what we term as what? Income elasticity. It's what we term as income elasticity. Income elasticity. Very simple and clear. Okay. So let's say you are in an organization working and your income has reduced from 1,000 cities to 600 cities. The thing that you could afford, you see that there is going to be this kind of calculation and management this time around. Instead of buying shoe for your child or let's say for your sister or someone, you see now you will be, doing some skirmishes and all that. Instead of buying, you'll be doing, right now I'm not having money and all that because income is having effect on your current what demand. That is what we mean when we talk about income elasticity. So with income elasticity, we also have another thing to talk about. Uh, when your income increases, what happens? When your income increases, your demand increases, right? Yes, that is for what? A normal good, when the good is normal. So when the good is normal good, you see that when your income increases, your quantity demanded also what increases. Simple as that. When it is superior or normal, what good. But then when that particular product is inferior, inferior, you see that when your income increases, then you tell us now you don't eat gobe. So your demand for gobe will reduce. Now that you have gotten money and you are supposed to spend more or buy plenty of the gobe, now you'll be telling us, oh, you don't eat gobe, you eat fried and you eat the log. Now you order KFC and the rest, right? So that is inferior. So when talking about the normal good, you see it increase when income increases, quantity demanded also increases, right? As simple as that. So that is all about the income elasticity, the kind of effect income has on the how do you call it? Your on the demand. So let's look at the uh, okay. We have one last thing to talk about, the one that I was talking about initially. So when you calculate for your income elasticity, then if you are getting yes less than one, it means that good is a normal good or a necessity. But if you get greater than one, it means that good is a normal and a luxury, right? So if it is less than one, it means the good is normal and it is also what a necessity. Necessity. It is also a necessity. But if it is less than one, that good is still normal and what luxury. Do you know luxurious or goods of ostentation? Goods of ostentation is those items that uh, uh, you buy more of them when your income increases. No, goods of ostentation. The luxurious commodities, forgotten. But for example, let's say, yes, when you are buying them, you don't care about the price. You buy them because of uh, luxury. You get it. So even if you don't have money, even if you don't have money, instead of buying Techno or Inflex or Itel or any other phone, you see you'll be fighting or you'll be creating to buy iPhone, right? So we are saying if it is less than one, the good is what normal and what luxury. Okay. But if it is less than zero, then that is imperial good. Then let's look at uses of uh, income elasticity of demand. Knowledge of income elasticity of demand is particularly important to the firm. So to the firm, it enables the firm to decide which goods to produce or supply more when income changes. Okay, yes. So me, if I'm in a company and if I realize, or if I'm in, let's say, nursing training college, and if I realize the nursing training allowances has what increased, then if I am selling something to my colleagues or something, do you think what will I do? I'll try to sell more. I'll try to buy more because I've seen their income has what increased, right? Their income has what increased. So what I will do is I'll just buy more of those commodities and sell. Is that okay? Yeah, that is what you're saying. And when income rises, it will be profitable to supply more. Okay, so that is basically what I explained. So to the government, what the government does is serves as a guide to the government to know the kinds of goods. So sometimes we don't know the reason why some people will be complaining the government has to build this factory, this factory, and all that. Sometimes the government is the one paying most of the people in Ghana. You get it. So when the government realize how there is how the income is going and all that, that is when the government find changes to the economic policies. Is that okay? So it also serves as a guide in taxation, and you know taxation goes with what incomes. Okay. So now that we are done with income elasticity, let's also talk about the last part, which is cross elasticity. Cross elasticity. That is where we'll be talking about substitute and complementary what products. Okay, substitute and complementary products. So we are saying cross elasticity. Cross elasticity. The price on that particular product is affecting the quantity demanded of another. So it is not having we are not talking about the direct effect on that particular commodity, but we are talking about on the another. On the other, that is why we say price of other related commodity. So the related commodities to it, we are looking at if the price of this particular commodity or comparing HP and Dell. If the price of HP increases, it is we are not talking about the direct effect on HP. We are talking about the direct effect, the indirect effect to the Dell. Is that okay? So if you have HP like this and you have Dell, if the price of HP increases, so there is the price. HP increases. You see that because they are all laptops, people will stop buying HP. All other things being equal, quality aside, durability aside, all other things aside, we are talking about laptops. So if HP the price increases, then the quantity what sorry, then the quantity will what increase. So this is quantity. So you see that although HP has increased their prices, but it is having an indirect effect on what the Dell. I hope that is clear. Okay, so you see this arrow is going up, this arrow is going up. So in this case, we can say there is what a positive relationship. Positive relationship. Positive relationship between them. And what do we mean by the HP and Dell? Are they complementary products or they are substitutes? They are substitutes because what you can use the Dell for, you can use it, you can use the HP. On what you can use the HP for, you can also use the Dell to perform that particular task. Okay, so they are goods of what substitute or they are substitute commodities. So we are saying in this case, then it means substitute commodities have what positive relationship. So put that one in mind. It can come in your exams. Substitute commodities they have what positive relationship. So if they ask you if the price of a commodity increases whilst the quantity of its related uh, quantity of a related commodity decreases, increases, increase in price and increase in quantity demanded, what will happen? Or are those two products complementary commodities, substitutes, or whatever? They are what substitutes, right? So when we say cross elasticity, we mean by what? This, okay? mean by this. Then it means yes, the coefficient when you solve for substitute, you are supposed to get greater than zero, greater than zero. Then complement, complementary product, complementary products. They are products that are used together, right? So shoe and socks, car and fuel, all other things really fall. Don't forget, because if you don't put ceteris paribus aside, you will be thinking broad, right? Put ceteris paribus in your mind, all other things really fall. That we don't care whether the shoe that you are wearing, it doesn't demand socks for it. Do you get it? Put that one aside. We are saying if you buy shoe, you need to wear socks. If you buy car, you would have to buy what? Fuel, right? If you want to pound people and you buy cassava, you need to buy what? Plantain. Is that okay? So those are complementary products. So car and what? Fuel. Let's look at their relationship. Now, if the price of car increases like this, car will be expensive. Do you think people will be buying cars? The quantity demand for car will reduce, right? Now, since people are not buying many cars, instead you see maybe I'm dreaming of buying 50 cars, having 50 cars just in front of my house, so that anytime I come out of my house, then I'll just be looking at them. That's just by the way. Okay. Yes. So you see that if the price increase, do you think I can buy the 50? All other things being equal, depending on my income, do you think I can buy the 50? So it means I will demand less. And once I demand less, it means I'm not going to buy plenty fuel. So the quantity for fuel will reduce. The quantity for fuel will reduce. So you see that one arrow is going up as what price and one is coming down as what quantity. So they have what negative relationship. And anytime you see this line, it is what negative relationship. Okay, so this is what complementary products. Complementary products. Okay, and so they have what negative relationship. Negative relationship and what they are always less than zero. Okay, when you solve for the coefficient, you will get less than what? Zero. Okay, all right. Once you get equal to zero, it means they are not complementary goods or they are just independent. One is, let's say, phone and car, they are different. Do you get it? So if you solve it, you get zero. It means they are independent. Okay, all right, all right. Then um, I think that is all for elasticity of demand. So we will end here for elasticity of demand. Once again, my name is Afari and welcome to Grade A Theta. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you share. Please, the sharing is very necessary. Share to your colleagues so that they all benefit from this tutorials. Thank you and we'll meet again. Bye bye.